Alright, welcome to an unnamed L5R show. My name is Kiramode. That's Badmojojojo. And we're currently proxying cards. So we have a little bit of a hodgepodge setup here. We're using a lot of Star Wars material. We're using old Versus cards. We're using penny sleeves. And we're using company printers. Along with a little bit of Conquest stuff as well. But, I mean, hey, you make do with what you got. So, me, Kiramode, I'm on the right. And then...
Bad Mojo's on the left. And Bad Mojo in this game is playing the... Lions, right?
Yeah, you're the Lions.
And you're playing the Crane.
I forget what my splash faction was.
Oh, you actually put a faction in? When I played, I went almost all neutral. Except for a few Lion cards, so I guess that was my splash.
Yeah, so I think right now we're just deciding mulligans. If I remember correctly, you don't mulligan anything. And then I think I mulligan everything.
Yeah, my my strategy for this, after the few games that we didn't record, I felt that I noticed that the less cost the guys are, the better chance you had to attack and defend. Because you do have two options for attacking with military and political, you want at least two guys out there almost always. Having one big guy, unless you're having a lot of untap or unbound mechanics. Yeah, sorry for all the Magic terms, but I haven't got familiarized with all the terms yet in the game.
Well, everyone should know Magic. Like, if you don't know Magic terms, just go play a couple sealed events and get educated. You know? So, yeah, I'd mulligan one card. I think you mulligan like one. Nope. I don't think anybody knows how the mulligan works here, so we're doing it kind of Hearthstone style, where it's like you choose which cards get discarded first, you draw your cards, and then shuffle whatever you discarded back in.
Yeah, they haven't done a rule set for the mulligan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll take a more liberal one.
Yeah, so we had already set up the majority of the game. We had the little counter on the bottom to represent honor. We're using Star Wars focus tokens as the Fate and the Warhammer first player token for first player. And we're also using Warhammer 5 dials for the honor bids.
And then the Warhammer, like whatever those red and blue things are, I forget what they do in that game. But here they're just used for honor, dishonor. So the honor tokens are blue, dishonor are red.
Oh, the red ones are damage, and I don't remember what the blue ones do.
Alright, so you're getting the big dude out. I forget his name. He's the clan champion. He kind of looks like the fat kid at band camp with his whole pose. But his ability is he swings in. If you win, then you get to trigger the ring twice. Although it has to be in a military conflict. But you get to go first, so the threat of that guy just coming in and getting 2 rings, it's kind of busted.
Oh, yeah, Akodo Toturi.
Yeah.
He is the exact opposite of what I recommended for an opening strategy.
Yeah. Well, so, in like, mistake of mistakes here, so you played that guy, right? And you get to go first, so you get to threaten to double Void Ring.
Yeah, if you can't zoom in, he's a 5 Fate, 6 military, 3 political, 3 glory Bushi champion that reads, reaction after you claim a ring during a military conflict in which this character is participating, resolve that ring's effect.
Oh yeah, so we both bid 4, by the way. We have a really bad habit of picking the exact same number, even when it's not 5.
We've played too many games together.
So, yeah, I somehow placed Fate on both my guys. That was super dumb. Like, I think you either have to take one guy and put 2 Fate on him, or 3, or just put no Fate on everybody, and try to, like, noble sack your guy out of here or something.
The bigger guys need more Fate. The little guys, you can chuck them.
But yeah, this is about to hurt. Because it's just like, there's like no realistic way I get out of this.
Yeah, going first, I have the option of picking military or political, knowing I have no defense. So I figure if I could break more, what are they called, strongholds? No, provinces.
Provinces.
Yeah, if I can break more provinces than him, I can race them to the end since I'm first player.
See, I look at your opening hand, and you got 2 of those steadfast samurais. They're such garbage. Like, I don't understand how you didn't mulligan them.
I think I drew into them.
No.
Because I mulliganed 2 things, didn't I?
No, you didn't mulligan anything from your starting setup, I don't think.
No, yeah, from the conflict deck I did.
No, from your Dynasty deck.
Oh, sorry, okay.
The 2 guys that are 1/1 for ones, they're atrocious. Even if they live for an extra turn, they're still bad. they're so
You know
bad.
when they are great is when you need to win the game and you have to get as much bodies on the board.
Yeah, but I mean they serve as triggers. So
what is that card? What is that?
The Steadfast Samurai.
No. That what is that? Void there?
Oh, the Void Ring.
Yeah, Void seems to be the #1 ring amongst the games that we play.
Yeah, it's kind of BS, especially if you can double trigger it.
Yeah, so the Void military, choose a character and remove 1 fate from it.
Oh yeah, that's how. Okay, so I forgot this happened. So I get super lucky, and you swing into the province that says ring effects don't matter.
This happened a lot. I was very unlucky.
Well, so here's the thing, though. So now we don't have a ruling on this, but I'm pretty sure.
Which one's that? Is that Night Raid?
No, it's like Pilgrimage. So.
Oh, it has a 5 defense boost during the conflicts at this province. Cancel all ring effects.
I think the dude's, like the leader guy's reaction still triggers though.
Ooh, but I remember asking you during this battle because if I break it, the ring effects resolve normally, so you don't even get the bonus. I was worried about that. If I didn't win, then I would be totally screwed.
Yeah, I have to chump block for sure at that point. But like, I think like if you win, you're still getting 1 void off just off of the reaction of the one guy. I mean that's unclear, but I would guess you still get your reaction. Be a little too powerful otherwise.
Yeah, so
Oh yeah, Doji Challenger, another really bad turn 1 play on that board.
Doji Challenger, what's he do?
He's the guy, or she's the guy that like.
She's awesome. 3 fate. She's a straight 3. She's a great character. 3 fate, 3 military, 3 political, 2 glory, Bushi duelist. And as an action, while his character's attacking, choose a character controlled by your opponent. Move that character to this conflict. So that thing is awesome for controlling the board.
Okay, so you just drop the Way of the Lion there, so your guy goes up to 12 attack.
Way of the Lion boosts the base value. And we haven't figured this out, is if you can somehow boost the base. I don't know if you can do that. Does that double? Like if you play 2 Way of the Lions? Is it a multiplier? Or
I think it should double multiply if you actually do use 2 Way of the Lions, but we don't know for sure. In any case, though, like I think I just passed first action because it wasn't going to break the province, but then you dropped that, and I was like, okay, even if I have some sort of pump, it ain't worth playing right now because it's going to go so bad.
Oh yeah, because so when he triggers, I get to pull a fate token off of both of them because of his ability reaction. So yep, that was an effective round. What was your strategy? Because you blocked, right?
Well, so the thinking here was if I chump block, then you don't get the double Void Ring, right? Because you'd have to win by 5.
Oh, right.
So you'd have to burn a bonsai or something, or in this case, a Way of the Lion to execute maximum value.
I pulled it off, yeah.
So this... Wait, I went for water? Oh, yeah, that's why I went for water. Okay, I remember now. Because I wanted to get the Doji Challenger freed up.
So you're doing a political water, choose a character, ready it, or choose a character with no fate on it and bow it. Oh, and if you manage to ready him, then you can get your Doji Challenger to attack for a second chance of breaking a province, or at least exposing them. And which one did you attack? Which province is that?
That's... Oh, it's the one that makes you discard a card. So I dumped the Phoenix girl, this Suginja girl.
Oh yeah, Night Raid. Yeah. After this province is revealed, your opponent chooses and discard X cards from his hand, equal to the number of attacking characters.
So awkward moment. I didn't actually have any attack when I swung in with the one girl, but I did have the Steward of Law. So he comes in.
Nobody can be dishonored when the Steward of Law is during a battle.
Yeah, well, I just needed 1 attack, so he comes in.
Did you break the province?
Yeah, so I swing in with the Steward of Law, and I use the 1 chick to give him +3 attack.
Oh, yeah.
So
that was a sneaky trick.
I love that guy. That guy's maybe the best conflict card that they have. Because he's like 1 mana, has a really powerful effect. And
man, I think anybody in the conflict deck, any characters in the conflict deck are powerful. since you can play pretty much everything as an instant.
Yeah, so at some point in this game, you're going to be able to have a conflict deck where, like, everybody is units. And they could just, you just come in. And, like, the only penalty of, like, playing guys from the hand versus your what's it called, provinces, is that you can't block with them. Or, I mean, you can, but they have to come in later, so you still lose that 1 honor for not blocking.
And this is where you get to untap your guy or unbow him.
Yeah.
And make your second attack with the Doji Challenger. But you can't trigger the ability because my guy's already bowed.
Yeah. So, sloppy play here. I forgot to say which element it was. I mean, the goal here is to get the, get your guy dishonored.
Oh, right. You chose fire, choose a character, and play honor, dishonor that character.
But if you notice, like, I flipped flipped the province first, so that was just a mistake. Like, when you declare attackers, you have to declare the ring and the conflict type at the same time. And it's like, you're kind of thinking on multiple things at once. It's just too easy to forget.
So what's the order supposed to be?
So you say, which attackers you choose, which ring you choose, which conflict type you choose, and which province you're attacking. That's all simultaneous. So you have to do all 4 of those things at once.
Okay.
So sometimes
they gotta have an order of events when they trigger, right?
They said in the little guide thing that it's all at once.
Because revealing the province is huge, if it's the last thing to get flipped over.
Yeah, and so right here we're quickly seeing why Crane's better than Lion, because like I was able to just pop 2 provinces relatively easily, whereas like you only got 1, and then you got your big gun out there, but it's like I got 2 rings.
And he's been dishonored now, so he's, because of glory's actually obviously a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
It gave me a -3 to all of my stats.
Well, and now you're fodder for Noble Sacrifice, which is a nasty, nasty card. I wish I had more cards like that in Star Wars, the card game, because I would abuse the hell out of that.
We've played a total of how many games? 4 or 6?
It's probably more than that.
Well, in all of the games, Crane has won. Lion has...
Oh, you mean Crane versus Lion? Yeah, Crane versus Lion, I think we've only played that matchup, about...
4 times?
No, more than that. We played 4 times just the other day, so we probably 6 or 8.
Well,
total games were probably close to like 15 or something.
Yeah, well, the Crane is undefeated against Lion in different type of makeups for the conflict deck.
Yeah, they just have so much control, right? So like Lion has a bunch of steamroll effects, but like it's really hard to trigger them, especially if you see them coming too.
And Crane's got the option for both political and military. Lion seems to be mostly just military.
Yeah, so in the Lion deck I use, I tried splashing in Phoenix in both, but I feel like it's more important to splash in Phoenix and Lion because the one girl has 2 political and has that much needed Suginja. Because that's the other part of it too. So Lion doesn't have a lot of Suginjas in the deck, which means you can't play Cloud of Mind, which is one of the...
Cloud of the Mind is huge.
Yeah, so like, in order to get that in there, you have to be like playing 3x of the one guy who moves enhancements that's a neutral, which is not a Lion card, and Lions kind of need other Lions to synergize. And then you have to play the Phoenix girl, which...
Yeah, they're like Voltron. They got to team up with the other Lions.
Yeah. You got one of the big ones there. You got the Matsu Berserker guy. That's another one of those steamroll cards.
Where's that guy?
He's the dude that comes in and he just gets like 2 fate. Just for showing up.
Is he conflict or...
No.
There he is. Matsu Berserker.
Yeah. He's a beast.
Okay, 1 fate, 3 military, dash line for political. Bushi Berserker, 1 glory.
No, you think... Sorry, my bad. No, is this full?
Oh.
Matsu Bayona.
Matsu Bayona. He's 3 fate, 3 military, 2 political, Bushi. After this character entered play, if you control 3 or more other Bushi characters, place 2 fate on this character.
Yeah, and I just passed here, so I picked up an extra fate. And then...
Oh, that's right. I wanted to dump as many little guys so I could play Matsu Bayona.
Yes, I got the extra fate. I do have the favor on military, which is... That favor is so huge. Like I feel like a lot of games kind of come down to whoever picks up the favor in the first round, if you're able to pick it up, you just win. Because like it means you're more likely to just continue to pick up the favor.
They did clarify that if you have the favor, but you don't have a participating character, you can't win, right? I thought they released that tidbit of info. Because he talked about that on
you still need
another
to have someone in there. And by the way, for those watching, we both bid 3. So yeah, I'm guessing in that situation you were trying to hope to steal honor to keep your scrubs alive. I think I was trying to get my what's it called, the frog, the one that adds a fate.
Yeah, I needed that too. And I kept thinking you would pick like 4 or 5 because you really like to draw a lot of cards.
I do. Well, so that frog card is the only card that I've seen that actually makes me think, you know what? I don't need to bid 5 right here. This is the only mechanic in the entire game that legitimately makes me think I need to not bid 5 because that card's fantastic.
Frog card is I can swim, right?
No. The frog card's the one that says action, place a fate on a guy for 0 mana. It's kind of broken.
Good Omen. 0 fate. Play only if your honor bid is lower than an opponent's. Action, choose a character with printed cost 3 or higher. Place 1 fate on that character. Good Omen.
Yeah. It's kind of insane. But it's like, none of these other things, like winning by honor, it's like, come on, man, that ain't happening. And like some of these other guys get benefits off of honor, but it's like, okay, so if your steadfast samurai stays alive, who cares? You know, like those guys don't pose any threat. So if my fear of drawing 5 cards is, my opponent's going to have a steadfast samurai around another turn, can't have that happening. It's like, come on, bro. That's just not going to matter.
Man, that Dishonored Akodo is now a liability with that fate on him. I don't even want him on the board anymore.
I introduced him to the Gimp. Is what happened there.
Bring out the Gimp.
And I mean, 2 to 4 looks pretty bad, but I do get a strike first. So I put the what's it called? The +4 political on the Challenger, which is very relevant because I have 7 political now, and you don't have squat. I mean, your Dishonored guy now has no political. Your 2 samurais have 1 a pop, and then your Matsubeoni only has 2, which I can bow out with my stronghold. So it's like, basically when I attack, it's an automatic win there.
So playing against Crane, you almost never want to have a solo defender.
Yeah, admit defeats.
Admit defeat for 1 fate. Choose a character that is defending alone. Bow that character. It's, and sending a character home doesn't seem that great now, but bowing a character is huge.
Yeah. Okay, so one of the things I'm trying to figure out here, I have no idea why I chose the mountain.
What's the mountain?
It's the one that says, like, draw a card and discard a card.
Oh, Earth, draw 1 card from your conflict deck, discard 1 random card from your opponent's hand.
Yeah, well, swinging in military makes a lot of sense, but Void has value because I can pick off 1 off of your Matsubeoni. What's it called? The fire one obviously has value because you can dishonor fools, which is great. The earth or the air one has value because it, gives you $1. I don't know if picking up an extra card's really all that valuable here. Like the 2 card swing's good, but like at this point we both have so many cards, we haven't really played a whole lot. Like I think that's a much more valuable ring when you're either digging for answers or when you're trying to choke out your opponent if they're like not drawing cards.
Yeah, I feel like some of the rings are situational and some of them are just you want them every turn.
Well, you want the fire ring you want every turn.
Fire and void are almost always useful.
Well, void's not always useful. Like sometimes
sometimes you can't dishonor their team. Fire would be useless too, but for the most part I think that if there's any fate on the board, void's always good.
Yeah, so this is, that's a suspect move on my part. Now, I do remember my goal here was really, you send the Doji in, you try to break a province, but more importantly, I need to pull in your strongest guy.
At some point, you play the stupid trick that you discovered that is a really good combo, the Steward of Law and Force Shame. Yeah. And I just realized now that the Steward of Law is actually in the Force Shame card picture.
I know, it's like they knew it was coming, man.
Or maybe they're like, let's design it to work together.
I mean, it could also just be the outfit that the couriers have for
Courtier.
Courtiers. Wait, what'd you do in there? So, oh yeah, okay. Oh, that's right. Okay, so you got scared that I was gonna discard your guy.
Yeah.
So you're like, all right, I'm gonna just take an action now, throw this dude on the board, and then
That's my conflict guy, right? The 3-drop.
Yeah,
right?
and I forget what we flipped into there. My guess is that we flipped into the which one? Which one could it be?
Who is that guy?
He's a conflict card.
Master of the Spear?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a 3-drop for 2/2. While this character is attacking, your opponent must choose a participating character he or she controls. Move that character home.
Oh, okay. I think it's the it's your lion thing. So
I thought that character was better because I didn't realize that moving a character home didn't bow them.
Yeah, and so a couple things just got played horribly wrong here. So the first is
It's a series of unfortunate events.
well, so I have to declare that I'm pulling your guy in before we start flipping the provinces over and triggering ring effects and stuff, right?
So we're backtracking a bit.
Yeah, well, so I missed that. Also, your province breaks before we trigger ring effects. So, like, if you notice, me and you both did the draw and discard thing before you have actually drawn all your cards for your province, right? So it's just bad. I mean, I don't. None of this really matters, right?
Wait,
because,
so I shouldn't have the cards for the discard, or I should?
It's a negligible difference. I mean, you're ultimately discarding one card, but
you're saying that because the province breaks first, that I would wait to draw the card, right?
Well, you would discard a card, right? So you have to draw your 3 first, then discard. It could potentially be relevant later in other situations.
I do have the larger hand for a discard.
And then also pulling your guy in, I have to declare that earlier. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered in this situation because you'd be down 7-2.
I like that the defender has first action. That gives him a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah, because there's so many benefits to attacking.
Well, the way the action windows are designed in this game, you almost never want to go first. Because there's, in Magic, there's that LIFO system, last in, first out. But that doesn't work here. You trigger something and it resolves.
Yeah, it hits. Alright, so that one's over, and then you're probably just swinging in military with a bunch of dudes.
And the Lions get their Savannah thing that allows them to beef up everybody that's attacking for a military.
Yeah, so the question here isn't if you go military, it's how many guys do you send? Because, the one chick that I have back, she don't defend. She only has a 0. She could technically defend.
Yeah, but I don't want you to pop out another Miracle Steward of Law for another attack. Because you've only made one attack so far.
Yeah. Well, I've already popped 3 provinces.
Yep, it's not looking good for Lion.
So, I mean...
Thundercats.
You maybe keep some dudes for defense. So, the next attack's gonna be a military attack that I make, if any. So, that's not too hard to defend. But I'd probably send in, you probably send in the big dude just because of his reaction. So, him, and then, or maybe just keep the 2 scrubs back.
At this point, because he's dishonored, he's absolutely useless on political.
Yeah, well, no, you go military and then pick one of the rings and just, double execute.
Yeah, I have to go. I think I make a mistake on this play, though. I don't know why. I think I was just going to hold him for defense to have as a defender. Or if I couldn't attack with him, use... Does his glory count at the end? Towards the Imperial?
Yeah. However much standing glory you have. So
now does my dishonor come into play for the Imperial? No.
It's just how much...
a flat glory number?
Yeah, it's rings plus glory that's actually standing. So you go with... Oh, yeah, you go with water. Yeah, that's kind of a problem.
For you or me?
For me, potentially.
Oh, but you got it set up so that it's the dishonor one, right?
Yeah, the shameful display. Well, so I remember in my hand I had both. I had a noble sacrifice and I had a way of the crane. So that was so I know I had that since turn 1. So I really needed to dishonor your big guy early, so that way at the right time I could just kill that fool. So I actually
Chop him in the head.
I actually do block with the one girl, and so she gets honored. I dishonor your big or one of your guys.
I am doing a military attack.
Yeah, you somehow.
So just those 3, right?
Yeah, you somehow don't attack with your leader.
Yeah, that was dumb.
That was highly suspect.
This is the mistake I made right here. But at this point, I don't think it even matters because being up on more provinces gives you a huge advantage for when you want to strike for the kill.
Yeah,
Killing
so
blow.
You got to go first next round, right? So I don't think I can win next turn just because you're going to get the lead, but it's like you already have 3 blown up.
Well, I can't get I can almost never get a political strike on you.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. So you just pumped all your guys, so you're at 2, 4.
Were you actually trying to defend against this?
Well, so I needed to defend because I wanted to get my guy honored because it saves me a card, right? I now don't have to burn my way of the crane to honor my chick to be able to kill off one of your guys.
Oh, you're trying to kill off my big dude. That's
Yeah.
right. You're going to strike with the... Oh, what's it called?
Oh, the other reason I needed to defend, too, is, like, you went water. So if I don't defend, she's going to get tapped out anyways.
Oh, what's the one called?
Noble Sacrifice.
Yeah, there it is. 1 fate. Sacrifice a friendly honored character. Choose a dishonored character. Discard their character. That doesn't even have to be in the freaking engagement.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite card.
That is nuts.
Especially in Crane, because like Crane has so many ways to just honor guys. And then dishonoring is not very hard. It's basically win the fire ring, and now you have a 1-mana kill spell.
So you got 2 broken provinces?
Yeah.
And I have 3, right?
Yeah, that's right. So, I don't know why I'm not just killing your guy now. Unless I think I'm just trying to like...
Wait, I got one more guy there, right?
Yeah. So I play my guy, another Steward of Law.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of value right now in sending him into the province just because you want to see what it is, to make sure that you don't get hosed later. Because some of them have flip effects.
Hey, if you guys think, if anybody wants to put in the comments if I'm playing Lion wrong or either of us are playing Lion wrong, let us know because I just don't see a way for them to beat Crane.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, so another bad order of operations. I attacked. We flipped the province, and it's like, oh yeah, that's right. I meant to attack air. Now, in all fairness, now this is one of those things where, I mean, my intention was to attack air because I knew I was not going to win the ring in all likelihood, right? But I didn't care to win the ring. I just wanted the mana. But it's like one of those things where you see the province that got flipped is the one that says ring effects don't count, So it's like, oh well, of course I'm gonna go air now, right?
Yeah.
It's like in tournaments you can't be doing that, but presumably we'll have everything cleaned up.
We're not close to tournament play here. This is still trying to learn the rules.
Well, I mean, the goal is you spend the next few months learning the game, so that way when the tournaments do roll around, you can just abuse newer players.
You just want to stomp and be a bully on the new kids.
That's what you do, man. No mercy.
Put your foot on their throat of the new kids on the block.
Well, like I don't quite have sympathy for this player base the way I do for Star Wars players. So like Star Wars players, I want to be nice to. Every other game, it's like you're trying to kill people.
You're going all Ivan Drago. I will crush you.
Or like when I go to like a Magic Sealed event, right, and you get matched up with some 12-year-old, it's like you made a mistake, kid. You should have left the house. It's like wait until you're old enough to smoke to show up at the table.
Does your mom know you're out past your bedtime? I love how you're using a Death Star for your honor.
There is no honor in my playstyle. Like, I've tinkered with the idea of an honor deck, in my head, and then I think, wait, am I going to play a deck that's not drawing cards? Not happening. Ever. No way. I'm never playing the deck that willingly does not draw cards.
Well, someone else talked about this on a podcast. I forget what they called it, but they basically said, dishonor yourself, dishonor your opponent, and when you both get close to death, like let's say they're one lower than you, then you flip it. so that they now have one lower you, and then you could just kill him with a dishonor blow. I like that idea.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. All right, so... Oh, yeah, so when you use the water, you raised up your Matsu Berserker. And then, so when I swing in with the Steward of Law, I think I was hoping you'd block. And that I might have had like a bow effect. Like maybe I have like a Force Shame or something in hand. Oh no, I have an Admit Defeat in hand. I see it. So basically the plan was hope you block with the Berserker, admit defeat a scrub ass, and then also kill your big guy.
It's always good when part of your plan is, I hope you do it this way.
Hey, you always want to bait your opponents, man. You need to try to...
Well, it's not bait so much as you're just like praying that they do the thing you want them to do.
Well, like... I'm going to do what I need to do, right? So, like, your big guy's dying either way. So, it's more of, like, how much more can I get here?
Oh, he's already dead. You killed Akodo.
Yeah, that was the plan. It was... I needed to kill him, and I needed to reveal what province it was. So, flipped up here, Elemental Fury, very relevant. And then I swap it out with the Fire Ring. Which, this comes back to, why in the hell didn't I take the Fire Ring when I attack with the one girl, right? Because I attack with the Mountain Ring, right? So if I would attack with the Fire Ring out of the gate, then that means that the Mountain Ring would be there instead. And I'm much more okay discarding a card than I am with you just getting an auto honor.
How'd you bow my guy?
I don't know. How did I bow your guy?
Or was that just the end of the combat?
Well, I did it with my Stronghold. You're in a political combat.
Oh, you jerk. The Stronghold that the Crane has just cancels out a 2 or less guy.
Way better than the Lion Stronghold, too. The Lion Stronghold, I'm going to call it right now. It's trash. Like, I haven't seen the other 5. I know at least 4 of them are going to be better than that. Like, the Lion Stronghold is just such crap.
It's a walking R2-D2 with no lid.
Let's compare to the Crane one. The Crane one's getting you a guaranteed 2 value.
Yep.
Right? Potentially more when you factor in pumps. The Lion one...
You can full-on cancel some stuff without even having a defender.
The Lion one, it only gets you more than 2 if you swing in with 3 guys on military, which military already has the most amount of pumps to it.
Well, Crane only works on political.
Yeah, but I think political chicanery is more important than military ones, because like there's no...
That would explain why the height of fashion you cannot play during a conflict.
If you could play height of fashion during conflict, that'd be so broken.
Yeah, I think that
it's still a good card anyways.
Balance. It's a great card. It's the only political pump we've seen.
Yeah, politics, like, I just think politics is better than military anyways, because, like, when Bonsai's in the game, anybody can pop a province, right? You have one Bonsai in hand. If your guy goes in with military and is untouched, you just automatically blow up the province. Not to mention there's all sorts of other enhancements that beef up military, so...
Lions seem to have more cards that were reliant on the state of the honor in the game.
They do, so...
That's probably what makes it harder to pull off a win.
Yeah, I mean, they're
because you got to hope that your deck is better at manipulating the honor dial than the opponent, as well as being able to somehow pull out a political maneuver out of your ass, where military you can just steamroll and the opponent doesn't care.
Well, Lion has 2 very key things that actually make them good. The first is the Spirit Caller's ability to recur guys. Now, Spirit Caller hasn't shown up yet, but like...
Well, you played with him once and he didn't really affect the game.
Well, that was a circumstance thing, though. But it has a lot of potential to be able to flash guys in, and all you have to do is just tap a guy.
Oh, now I got an honored guy on the board.
Yeah. So, yeah, you got an honor because you won the 1 ring. And then I think you just pick up an honor when they die. But, it's called... So the Spirit Caller is relevant, but also Lion has ways to add fate to guys. Because... we haven't seen anything from Crane, and we haven't seen anything from anyone else that allows you to add fate. So you have the Matsubayoni, which comes in with fate, and then you also have the most important Lion card that they have is the one that's for Greater Glory, where you swing in with everybody, you pay a mana once you plop the province, and everybody gets a fate. So like the potential value on that's huge, but it's pretty damn hard to trigger. Like if your opponent just happens to have the Bonsai, you're fucked. So...
I think at some point you asked me why one of my my Matsu guy is still in play, and it's because I played the card that removes his honor token to keep him.
Oh yeah,
there.
stand your ground.
That's a good card.
Yeah, stand your ground is pretty good. Like it costs you the token, but
I mean the guy stays in play, so
yeah, that's better.
Who is that guy? Matsu.
So me flipping into the Elemental
Vengeful
Fury
Oathkeeper,
is
that's
quite
what it is.
relevant because now the Doji Challenger still alive, right? Because Challenger should have died when you went in with Void, but because it got swapped out, that kind of changed the dynamic there.
So we haven't seen any search cards yet. We have seen a dig 4 card scry. I wonder if they're going to make any search cards in the core set.
I don't think so. I just think like too many games have the FFG makes have like the whole search top 5 or search top 10 cards of your deck for a certain type of card. That they'll make more of that. All right, Kikita Ketsun. He's like right behind the Challenger for like the best Crane card in terms of overall potential. He's the guy that says you challenge someone to a duel, then everyone else goes home.
Kakita Kaizen. Yeah, he works really well against land because he's the anti-swarm dude, but his duel isn't that great for if you're just dealing against 2 guys or a big one-on-one, obviously.
Yeah, well, so he needs to be the biggest dude on the table. So like you wanna load him up with stuff,
and he's extremely useless without the card that makes it so you can't play events on him. But even still, I think you did the trick where you clouded his mind on me once in one game, and it was just brutal. It was totally useless.
Yeah, well,
you clouded half my team one game. It was a Doji Challenger, Kakito, and somebody else. It was a gift giver. You played all 3 of them.
Look, man, the gift giver's a dick to deal with, and you got to cloud his mind or her mind because she's just like that's another one of those Crane cards. Just annoying.
She's dangerous.
Against.
Yeah, she can really shut down the opponent's
like
strategy.
she's like she's basically a admit defeat with like on a stick. You know, it's just
on a stick.
All right, so I forget how much.
Is she specific to the Doji gift giver? There you go. While his character is participating in a conflict, give your opponent 1 fate. That opponent must choose a ready participating character. He or she controls bow that character. So this is the end game here.
So I think we both just went 5.
We did, yeah.
Yeah. It was like,
I mean, if you got enough honor at this point, what do we got? I can't read it, but it's probably close to like 8 or 9.
Neither one of us have passed a lot of honor one way or the other.
Yeah.
So it's like it's end game time. And I'm trying to think what. So if you're in your shoes, what your realistic options are. For some reason, the honor
concede?
general. So the honor general is not honored for some reason.
Let me scoop this game.
So like you can go and
Where'd I get that?
You needed the honor when you initially played him. We missed it.
Oh, that's right. He comes into play honored. Who is that guy?
The honor general. He's one of those guys that looks better than he actually is.
Oh, he's a generic.
Yeah.
God, he's huge.
He's
during a conflict in which his character is participating, each other participating Lion character you control gets +1 military. And then after he enters play, honor it.
Great. More military pumps for a faction that already has military.
Yeah, I'm really not liking characters that have glory. I've seen too many cards that work against their favor for having a number on that glory. Yeah. What I would like to do, and I hope the Scorpions get this ability, is play a dishonored deck where they don't really care about it. You can dishonor all the characters on the board, but they all have 0 glory attached to them. That would be awesome. Do that, FFG. Yeah. Make it happen.
I'd be in on that. Like, dishonoring other fools, that's great. Because there's a lot of guys that require that they be honored to get certain benefits. If you could take that away from them, that'd be good. But I still, more than anything, I hope one of the factions gets the ability to do either 2 political attacks in a turn or 2 military attacks.
That would be so. That sounds like it might be imbalance. Oh, do you mean in place of 1/1 or
Yeah.
okay?
So like make some
Because
sort
making
of
3
card,
attacks is too powerful.
like some sort of card that just changes the terms of engagement. Like some sort of card that says, okay, I made my military attack, and now I'm gonna make another military attack. Because that like a little bit of the mystery is taken out of this game. Because if you send like a little guy in with the military, you only have one potential move you could do with that, which is a bonsai. That's it. But it's never going to be like, I send the little guy, hope you commit with your big guys, and then send like the real attack second, because the real attack's not coming. You already did your one attack that you can do with that type.
If they make that a possibility, I think the Lion would be legitimately much better.
Yeah, they need like if Lion could do 2 military attacks a turn, totally different faction.
Yeah.
Right? But like the fact that they have to make their attacks really, really count when they do their military strikes.
And if they strike so hard once per turn, and then they try to defend everything else, if they whiff on that attack somehow, or they just don't win, and the province doesn't break, they're so far behind.
Yeah, and so like at this point, you're like, okay, because you have to figure out how can you go in, break a province.
Well, I need to break 2 provinces to win, and somehow defend against your initial attack.
Well, you're not winning this turn. There's no way, because you can't swing in with military, pop a province, and then pop another province with your political. But what you can do is you could potentially go in, pop a province, and then
crap! And you're pumping Kakito.
Oh yeah, I gotta stop the swarm. So he's at 5 now, so he's able to match up with the Honor General fairly well. Make it 7 because he's honored.
Hey, any older peeps out there remember those Nike pump shoes that you had to pump the tongues on your shoe to make it more basketball friendly? That's what he's doing to Kakito right now.
Yeah, Kakito, he's getting big, becoming a swole douche.
When one of the Kakitos that we played had like 2 swords and something else on him.
And then you bonsai'd him. I remember that.
That was ridiculous. The guy had like 12 attacks.
So you passed on your first conflict.
Because I realized if I don't defend, it doesn't matter what I do.
Yeah, so there's a lot of ways I could attack here. I mean, I think there's a reasonable case for just sending in the Doji Challenger political. But I figure if you go in, because you can just swing in twice. So my thinking here is I'll go in with Kakita first on a military and see if I can just win that way, because you have very few outs. Like, you're only out if Kakita swings in, because he's bigger than all your guys. Is you have to defend, immediately use your first action to pump up one of your guys by presumably the Honor General by at least 2. So you'd have to have a bonsai or a fine katana, and you'd have to declare it as your first action. So even if you have the card, if you don't have like the wherewithal to immediately say that's what I'm doing, then I just win right out of the gate.
Crap.
So I forget how you defend here. I think you keep the general back as far as I remember.
I don't think there's anything I could have done differently to make myself survive this round.
What you do is you send the Honor General and you immediately play your pump. I don't know if you had a pump in hand though.
Why would I send anybody if I can't defend against you? It doesn't matter how many provinces I break this turn.
No, you can. Oh yeah, okay. I forgot. This is the other reason I sent in Kakita, because you have to send in at least 2 guys to defend.
Always 2 against the crane at minimum.
So if you send in multiple guys and you use your pumps to beat out Kakita, I can still duel you, right? Intentionally lose a duel, and then Kakita sends his scrub ass back home.
Oh, and he doesn't bow.
And he would not bow.
That's retarded.
But all of your fucks will bow. It's just like, oh, okay. I remember I had like...
That's a neat trick.
I had like 3 admit defeats in hand too.
Wow.
It was.
And you got a lot of resources.
Yeah, and I have like... I didn't send the gift giver in just because like she doesn't interact well with Kakita, but... yeah, this is bad news. Like, I think you send the Berserker.
I didn't realize Kakita would send himself home, and you were like, we have to do the honor bid.
Yeah, I mean, you still got to play the game. So.
I know, but you were like, we have to do it. I was like, I don't care what it is.
Well, it's potentially relevant. It's relevant for the frog. It's relevant for what's it called? Other, like, I believe there's another card that benefits off the honor dials.
The frog. You're just gonna keep calling it the frog.
It's easier.
Well, there's 2 frog cards. You got to be careful. Good Omen is the one he's talking about, but I Can Swim is the other card that I think is going to be in every deck.
Well, every deck that splashes in Scorpion.
Yeah.
We don't have enough Dishonor effects, though. We only have For Shame right now. So, like, right now I use, like, For Shame and as a bow effect primarily.
I really want to know if that, like, you can play the Steward of Law and For Shame together as a lockdown, and it works.
Yeah, so I think at this point I play Admit Defeat, and you're just like, all right, fuck that. I'm done. Because, yeah, there's not much else there, you know, because, like, I had all the outs there.
Yep, now we're in the cleanup phase.
Yeah, it was
good game, good game.
All right, get on to game 2 here.
All right, we'll see you for round 2. Come back in a few seconds.